What's up, YouTube? What's up to my followers out there, people who have subscribed to the channel? If you're new to the channel, hit the subscribe button, like, give a like, thumbs up to the video, subscribe. I always begin, whether you're new or not, to encourage you guys to go to my website at treeoflifeoutreach.com. Read over the bio, be inspired by that story, know that this thing that we call God, it's real, it's alive, it's still sitting on the throne and still doing miracles. Read the bio, you'll see why I do that every time, because I have to honor He who has sent me, He who has done so much in my life, and every chance I get, I'm going to glorify Him. That's just the way it is. Getting better at kind of shortening the intro part of my videos. I know there's some guys that I watch their videos and they're pretty lengthy, so I know how it can be. Nevertheless, it's something that I have to do. So read over the bio at treeoflifeoutreach.com. If nothing else, pass the inspirational story on to someone you know that may be in need of a word of encouragement. And that's just what that is. My contact information is up there as well if you need to contact me or refer anyone to me. So I just did a video a moment ago about know your gifts. Know your gifts. God, whether you believe in God or not, this divine universal power, this thing that's greater than all of us, it endowed all of us with specific gifts. With specific gifts for each of us. And when we operate outside those gifts, we do not only ourselves a disfavor, but the whole of humanity. We do everybody a disfavor. Simply because we're living outside of who we really are. If you're not operating in your gift, you're not operating who you is as a person. You're not operating in your holistic or operating from a holistic center. So there may be bits and fragments of you that are still you, but ultimately, if you're not operating in your gifts and you're operating outside of your gifts, and that does you a disfavor, does your family, your household a disfavor, co-workers, and so forth and so on. So you have specific gifts that's been given you, as do I, and as do each and every other person that's on this planet, that's ever been on this planet, and ever will be on this planet. Nothing is created, no one is created without a gift. It's up to us to learn how to grow and recognize, then embrace and develop these gifts. It's up to us, and the sad part about it is oftentimes society, not oftentimes, just day-to-day living, society kind of either blinds us to that or beats that out of us. They blind us by always sitting us in front of a desk from a very tender age of 3 or 5 or whatever it is for you in your particular location. But you start off at a very age, generally around 5 years of age, and you have to be taught to sit down at a desk, and you have to be what is called educated, but you're actually being indoctrinated. So it's blinding you to your gifts because you spend so much of your day, the kids spend so much of their day at school getting information and indoctrinational input. So all that fun and hope and joy and enthusiasm about life is automatically starts to be drained out of them. The ability, the natural God-given ability to hope and dream is being drained and beat and sucked right out of them from that very, very early age. And then they go through that all the way through school. You know, you've been through it. Some of you are probably at an age where you're still going through it, obviously. But you're trading the most valuable resource you have, which is your time. You know, you're trading it for dollars in educations. And don't think that I'm, here to lambaste you for that. We've all had to go through that. And unfortunately, those of us who've gone through it or have been living on the other side of that educational system or whatnot for so long, we are dealing with the repercussions of the fact that half the stuff you didn't learn, you don't use. The other half is probably just not applicable. So it's very little that you're going to get out of that outside of learning how to fit in and how to go along with what you're told, how to receive the information that you're told, how to recall the information that you're told. Meanwhile, when you were younger, you had hopes and dreams that you could do something spectacular, you can do something amazing. and they sat you down in front of a desk at a very early age, and the rest is history. So this is kind of like a part 2 to that video. I may actually name or title this video part 2 to that. Point being, if that kid, and as those of us who have already gone through school, can have the hopes, the dreams, the inspirations, and things of that nature beaten out of us. Not from all of us, but from a good deal of us. Some of us, they go to school and they discover a dream. They discover their gifts right there in school. But the vast majority of people don't fit into school. School should not be a one size fits all. This kid learns that way. The other kid learns better this way. This teacher works for this guy. That guy prefers a different style of teaching altogether and would learn better. So all these things beat and drum out, the human imaginations, and you just input it with, this is what you do. Now, if that kid can go through that, through all of his years growing up to adulthood, you can just imagine that kid. And some of us can look straight into the mirror. You can imagine that kid who, having gone through all that and all his high spirited ideas, noble inspirations and things of that nature were basically drummed out of him because he got to go to school and this and that and that and this. Then you take him as an adult and you put him right into a job or a career where it's more of the same. There's no sense of real joy or real fulfillment. There's not even an inner sense of real accomplishment. You may have progress and accomplish some things along the way, relationships or degrees or what have you. But internally, there's no sense of real accomplishments. You just accomplish what, from the moment you sat in front of that desk as a small kid, what they told you should accomplish. And it's been so long, you haven't spent time enough with yourself to even stop and realize, as a kid, my goal was to accomplish this. My goal was to achieve this. So although you've accomplished some things within the outer 3D realm of it, or the physical realm, internally there's much to be desired. And I think if we're honest with ourselves and with each other, we can admit that. Particularly those of us who have gone through that and are on the other side of 30 at least, you begin to realize that, man, what was it all for? What are you really getting out the deal? So we got to get back to ourselves. We got to get back to our core, because I'm a huge fan of balance. I talk about this in all of my videos. My ministry it's a holistic ministry. It's about balance, mind, the body, and the spirit. Stimulating and nourishing the mind, the body, and the spirit. Balancing them, synthesizing them. So we have to get back to balance, and the only way for us to get back to balance is to go within, to relocate and then rekindle that fire. Doesn't matter how old you are. If you're still here, there's still more left for you to do. So it doesn't matter how old you are. All that matters is, what are you going to do from this moment forward? Are you going to continue to work a job that you know provides you no sense of fulfillment? You know that. And you may be successful, but success minus fulfillment equals failure. So you may know that you're successful, or what we would call successful. You got the house and the nice car and income and kids going to college and this and that and that and this. But inside, you don't feel very successful at all. And you know that. So you can keep going down this path and finding yourself to a point to where one find themselves on their deathbed after living a long life and accomplishing everything except fulfillment. Not even having the, if you'll pardon my French, not even having the kahunas to go in search of, what really, really makes their boat float. What really, really, as the old timers say, make their baby jump. See, when a woman is pregnant, that baby is in there. And when that woman gets excited or real joyful about something, that baby will jump. She have a real passionate moment, a real happy, thrilling, exciting moment, that baby will jump. So we have to get back to what makes our baby jump. And it starts with us going inside and becoming more self-aware of what it is that does it for us. You want to be an architect. You're somewhere doing oceanography type work. So not only are you not building skyscrapers that you want to build, you're under the sea. So some of us are so far in the left field, we're so far out of our spiritual character and the characteristics of what makes us who we are internally. If you can't win from within, then you can't win to begin. I mean, you've already lost. And a successful job that leaves you unhappy is a failed career. Doesn't matter if it's just a 9-to-5 job and it's not a career, it's just a job. If it's successful, or even if you're just paying the bill, but it's not bringing you no sense of fulfillment, then you're wasting your time. Everything's out of balance. Think about it. You spend 8 to 10 hours a day, 5 days a week at that job that you do not like. It takes a great deal of willpower and fortitude and discipline just to show up at that job, let alone perform at a high rate or on a high level. It's draining. It creates mental and emotional fatigue because you don't like the job. But you think you could go there 8 hours a day, 5 days a week, and then go home and be happy? Nah, I think that would be a very rare thing to do, and very rare. I'm putting it mildly, because I think personally it's right next door to impossible, if not flat out in the house of impossibilities. There's no way a person can work 8 to 10 hours a day, 5 days a week, not 1 or 2 or 3, not even 4. 5 days a week, and then go home and be happy. No, they're just going through the motions. I have a wife. I'm supposed to love her. I'm supposed to have self-discipline. I'm supposed to be understanding, and I'm supposed to take my son to the ball game, and all these different things are just going through the motion. And if you're not happy, then that energy reverberates throughout your household and in throughout the entire universe. This is why people are easy this is how and why people are easily influenced. And the powers that be know this. So this ties right into the video that I just posted about finding your gifts, knowing your gifts, and your gift will make a way for you. So some of you guys have the money already to where you can just transition right on into what it is you're passionate about. What makes your baby jump. You can transition right on into it. but you got comfortable with the fact that this is what it is. Why take a risk? I'm comfortable. Retirement's coming up, and all of this and that. So some of you guys are just flat out willing to sacrifice your gift, which is a part of your calling, which is why you were created. You was given a gift to accomplish something that only you can accomplish. But all of this stuff they talk about, dare to dream, this is what they say on the surface. But their actions show they don't want you dreaming. They want you at that desk. They want you doing that manufacturing job. They want you serving in the army. They want you, whatever it is that they want you to do, they have a plan for you that's totally contradictory to this dream that you have, when they're so-called inspiring you and encouraging you to follow your dreams. Some of you don't have the finances to just get up and leave or transition from this to that. But I guarantee you, with faith, when you start walking in your gift will make a way for you. So all the mentors and mentees that you need, all the people who have the finances that you need, those doors will be opened up to them, and you'll find yourself just doing what you do without a dime in your pocket, but being true to your gift. And someone will just notice you and say, hey, what is that you're doing over there? Boy, you sure are passionate about it. And this is not me blowing smoke, guys. I'm telling you now, based on experience, that this is how this thing works. You don't have to have the money. This thing called the universe, the supreme creator, God, whatever you want to refer to it as, it created you for a specific purpose and gave you a specific gift. It's here to help you in the expression of that gift. And when you operate in that gift will provide you with everything that you need. So those doors will open up for you. Don't worry about how you're going to get there. Just make a commitment to operate in your gift. And like I put in the other video, which you guys should definitely click on. Don't worry about, well, how you gonna find the time to do that? Because you work, and you got a wife, and you got kids, and all these other things that you have to be responsible to. But I don't care if it's 30 seconds, 30 minutes, an hour, it doesn't matter. Once you start walking in that gift, I guarantee the universe will open doors for you that you can't even imagine. Because this who does it, the good book says, promotion doesn't come from the north, south, east, or west. It comes from the Heavenly Father. And the Heavenly Father provides for those who have the courage, first of all, the know-with-all, to recognize that they're out of balance, they're not operating in their gift, and to see the repercussions and the ramifications that it's having on them, their life, family life, etc., etc. They're able to see that. They're able to recognize that, because again, remember, that's where disease comes from. In fact, that's the actual meaning of the word disease. Dis-ease. If you look up the etymology of the word disease, that's it. You don't have to look up the etymology. You can just break the word down in a prefix and a suffix. Dis-ease. So a person's constantly in a state of dis-ease 8 to 10 hours a day, 5 days a week. 8 hours, that's a third of the day right there. 1/3 of the day at a state of dis-ease. That ain't counting the dis-ease that you encountered on the traffic going there, the traffic coming back, the dis-ease of the fact that when you got there, your wife wasn't quite finished cooking yet, you were hungry, the dog needed to go out, the baby's crying off the chain, and Junior still has to get to his ball game. Dis-ease. This is disease. That's disease. And the only way to get over that is to go within, spend some time alone with yourself, go within, and that dream that you had as a kid, that thing that makes your baby jump, it'll find you again. It'll find you again. And you'll be able to say within yourself and recognize within yourself, yeah, this is what makes me feel good. It's not about working some job and collecting all these, trinkets and all these different things that society told you this is how success is defined. No. Success minus fulfillment equals failure. And at some point we all know this, and particularly those who have gone through that system and realize whether they're being what society calls successful or not, they've gone through it and they realize that's not it. There's something else. That something else was stolen from you when you were a kid and you used to play with your toys and imagine about being a pilot or setting a record for being the world's fastest guy or whatever. It was stolen from you. And if you're too old now to do that, whatever it was, maybe it's to become the all-time leader and run a marathon in record time. Well, you can't run that marathon in record time now because maybe time has caught up with you from a physical standpoint. But if you're still here, there's still gifts in you to be discovered that the world needs. And stop going to that job. Go to it as long as you have to. I'm not saying get, bananas and coconuts and just go in there and walk out on your job. That's not what I'm advocating. I'm saying spend some time with yourself. That dream will find you again. That gift, the realization of what that gift is, it'll find you again. And then just start operating in that, and the universe will do the rest. I promise you. So that's what I have for you guys today. Unhappy job equals unhappy life. There's no way anyone, not a human being, can go spend 1/3 of their day in a situation. Not just 1/3 of their day, again, 2, 3, or 4 days a week, 5 days a week. And we're not talking about 5 days a week and then it's over. It's over till next year and you have to do 5 days again, or it's over till next month. No, you got to turn around and go right back in. You can't make it through life like that, being offering anything of substance, of true meaning. You can't go through life. That doesn't offer you or society anything, and that creates the imbalance again. Your household is totally imbalanced because nowadays there's probably a good chance that your wife is also going to a job that she don't like, she can't stand, she's unhappy with, and even if it's an okay job, it's still not offering her or you any fulfillment. You don't feel like you're doing anything except trading your time for money and being able to pay your bills and save some money or whatever, but it's not doing anything for you other than that. And you know somewhere that you're not here to just grow up, make babies, have a family, pay bills, and die. You know there's more to it than that. And the answer to what that more to it is for you is already inside of you. And it starts with what makes your baby jump. What is it that you are passionate about? What moves you? What makes you feel like a fish in water? That's what your gift is. And you have to start operating in it so that you can you can sharpen it and refine it. And then when you do that, you do everybody on the planet a tremendous favor, starting with yourself and those closest around you. But you carry that energy in with you, so whoever comes around you is infected by it. What is it about this guy? I don't know. He's got that what we call it. He's got something about him. I like being around that guy. And their calling may not have anything to do with your calling. They're not moved by what it is that you're doing. They're not trying to be a sports player or an architect or whatever. Their thing is music. Their thing is poetry. So it's not that they're moved by what it is that you're doing. They're simply moved by you and that inner beauty that you carry around with you that all can see and feel. Man, this girl just, man, I like being around her. If there's someone you know that you feel that way about, that person is operating in their gift. They can have a hot dog stand, but they're operating in that gift and you love being around them. That's the reason why. So, unhappy job equals unhappy life. What are you going to do about it? Don't just look at the person that you like being around and admire them. That's fine. I support that 100%. Everyone should have people in their lives that they like and admire. But you don't have to just like and admire that guy. You can find your gift and others will like and admire you as well. I'm not saying that they don't, but you get the point. So that's what I have for you guys. Again, doesn't matter if you're an atheist, doesn't matter if you're a Muslim, if you're a Christian, Buddhist, doesn't matter to me. If your goal in life is to live a respectful life, to be as upright and forthcoming as a human being as you can be, not harm anybody, not plan to harm anybody, being kind and respectful of Mother Earth, then you are my brother and you are my sister. And for those of us who are not on that walk, you too are my brothers and sisters. Maybe a distant brother and sister. But we're all one anyway. So that's what I have for you guys. I don't know all of y'all, but I do love all of y'all. I practice this myself in moments, and we all have moments to where we're not feeling as well as we'd like to. I encourage myself as I encourage you. If you're feeling bad, go make somebody else feel good, and you'll feel better. If you're already feeling good, go find somebody that's feeling bad, make them feel good, and you'll go from feeling good to feeling phenomenal. That's just the way this thing works, guys. Thanks for watching. Hit the like, subscribe, visit the website. Peace, holla back.